All right, in today's little video, I want to basically talk about why a yacht. How do I get a yacht? Why would I want a yacht? And where the hell am I going to stick a yacht? All right, let's get to the whole pink elephant in the room thing. Yachts are cumbersome to marinas. Um, like in this case, the person died 2 years ago, had a heart attack, was left to his wife, and she didn't want it. She didn't want to deal with it. There's these things don't just go to marinas. This is Green Coast Springs Pier, okay, and it was designed during World War II for warships, and it has the capacity to handle an 83-ton boat with no real problem at all. So it's ideal to keep it here, but even then you're looking at about $1,000 a month in rent, plus electric. So I mean, it's not really that bad compared to what a modern apartment costs or what a mortgage payment is. So if that's your cup of tea, still there's more perks to this than I'm going to lead up to here in a minute. The second is finding a big boat you can get. I know you're thinking, well, that's $1 million boat, so it's going to cost a lot more money than I make at Circle K or McDonald's, and you would be wrong. These things, when they get left behind, say this guy passed away 2 years ago, poor health, heart attack, fell off. They pulled him out, resuscitated him, and he didn't last. But he didn't have anyone to take the boat after that. He had an ex-wife and he had a son, but it was nothing they wanted to deal with because they were not into yachts and they knew not what to do with it. So the Marine Port Authority office, Dockmaster, contacted my company, which is Devil's Cove Marine Service, because we do demos, and said, take a look at the boat and see what you think we can do with it. Because they'd already tried to give it back to Huckins. And Huckins not only said no, but they didn't even return their phone call. So in order to get rid of a boat this big, you're looking at close to $3,000 a foot to dispose of this vessel. So with that being said, you're looking at over $200,000 to get rid of this boat. So by me taking a look at it and deciding this I can do, this I can convert, I have the skill set, I know how to do fiberglass, I know how to do mechanics, I know how to do electrical, plumbing, drywall, framing, air conditioning, diesel engine mechanic, gas, diesel engine, gas, hydraulic, all that stuff I'm good at. So building, rebuilding, repairing, redesigning is a good thing. So if you have any good mechanical skill sets, especially people with ADD, because that's where most of your good mechanics come from, this would be the ideal project for you. So and like I said, it's cumbersome for the marina because getting rid of this would have been a nightmare. By me being in the driver's seat of wanting to take over this boat, all you have to do is negotiate time. If they let you stay for free, repair the boat, you show them that you're doing the work, which I have been. I've been here 3 months. You show them that you are progressing, they're happy. They're content. And so then the next thing is going to be, okay, what do I do next after this? What plan do I do to make this boat where I'm not confined to this pier? Well, besides making it run and everything like that, it's just batteries and other minor details. The thing you've got to do is make it not hungry for power, because this is a glorified dock queen right now. It has to be plugged into all kinds of power in order to live day to day. You know, if you could go out there with a gas grill and, you know, need no air conditioning, that's one thing. You can go more out in the middle of the harbor out there, and that's where you can live. And still, that would be free. But you're talking about living very uncomfortably and very not living life. Let's put it that way. You'd just be like one of these guys that lives in the woods in a tent. Nope, we got to make this thing where up there, all the way back, we're going to have a new roof system. It's going to be strong. It's going to have 6,500 watts of solar. We've already got the batteries. We're having 20 LiPo, 100 amp hour, 13.8 volt daisy chained together to give us 24 volts, 26 total actually, when you add it up. Going into a Victron 24 3000 multi plus, which we already have it actually in and temporarily hooked up. I'll take a video of that later, but I don't want to, y'all to get the wrong idea. I'm just trying to give you a basic explanation of the game plan. Secondly, once we get the electrical established, then we're going to need to establish a small generator. No, the boat doesn't have one. That was taken by the ex-wife along with the wine lists, and no holding tanks, no water tanks. It does have a full fuel tank, so there's $7,000 worth of fuel on here. But like I said, this is a plan to turn this into basically a floating island with air conditioning, all the amenities, and everything to sustain life. And we're in the river, so being in the St. Johns River has its perks as well. If we take her down, that's the Shands Bridge way over there in the background. I think I can zoom in on it for you. That's the Shands Bridge right back there. Okay, zoom back out. Anyway, by taking this down river past the Shands Bridge to Palatka, our points thereafter, still free mooring in the river. It's not as wide, so you don't have to deal with the wind. A lot of people are saying, well, I like the breeze, I like the wind. Yeah, you wouldn't like it when the storms roll in here, because this is very wide. You see how far away the Shands Bridge is. So the afternoon storms that roll through here are pretty intense. And it is not a fun thing during a hurricane to be here. You are tied to a pier, but you do have an 83-pound giant that is wanting to be free. So being down in a narrower part of the river, as you go down to St. John's, the river gets narrower, 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 narrower. I mean, at some point down there, you can almost touch and reach across both sides of the river if you were in a boat this wide. That's getting way down there by Orlando, but it still happens. All right, anywho, so making it where you can moor it comfortably, have solar energy, have backup generator just in case the bank gets too low. That takes care of your basic life needs. Second thing is going to be water storage. Food grade 55-gallon drums. I'm going to install them below deck. Up front in this part of the boat, this was the crew's quarters. There's 2 staterooms, laundry facility, and the access to the engine room, and another bathroom. Galley is located here in the front. Pilot house is up here in the top. Utility room is that square window, and then everything aft of that is the salon. It used to be a dining room and everything, but it was gutted out, and now it's just an open area, which is very big and comfortable. I've already got flat screen entertainment in there, 65-inch on the wall, so it's cozy. But I don't like being restrained to the pier. And, the world events happening the way they are, Yellowstone and all the other doomsdayers out there that are coming up with everything every day to scare the crap out of you. It's nice to know you got something that has the power and has the room and has the fuel to go. If I really had to go, I could go. So keeping this thing operational, making it operational, restoring it, getting it done, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple of years. Florida sun is brutal. So working out in the heat directly is, I'm 60 years old, so it's a little hard on me. So what I do is I cheat. I go from this side of the boat in the afternoon. When the sun sinks low, I I can come over here, but right now the other side is shady. So I've got little deck repairs going on that side and deck repairs going on this side of the boat. Plus up top where the roof system's going to be, that whole thing, I'll make another video up there and show you some of the already done repairs and the repairs in progress. But yacht ownership doesn't have to be a rich man's game. I'm already showing everybody that. It's a lifestyle choice. If you've been on a cruise ship, it's the same thing being on a big yacht like this. They don't move. You don't see this thing bouncing around. And we got a pretty good breeze and chop today. It just sits there. And when you're in it, it just sits there. It is like being in your house. I mean, yes, it will move. Yes, it will gently rock a little bit, but it's not like being in a tiny little sailboat, or, you know, it's more like my neighbor back there, her catamaran. You know, it doesn't move around a lot because it's fat and wide and it's cat. You know, this boat over here, it's 65 feet long, but you can still see it moving around because it's a sailboat, and sailboats like to wobble. But mega yachts, nope, they don't move around a lot. But surprisingly, it's got enough horsepower, two 980 horsepower V12s, to get this girl up on plane and do some serious running. But the engines are weak. And while I've got this free time and my barter system of getting the stock, I've also made it to where I have the ability to do everything while I'm here at the pier. You know, putting an anchor system on, you know, fixing the decks, figuring out and planning other things on the boat that need to be planned. Hang on, let me pause this.